Sorry all hackers. Cringe. Bitcoin is often said to be untraceable, but in reality it isn't. To understand why, I say we first go through quickly how Bitcoin works. Bitcoin functions thanks to blockchain technology, which in short is a bunch of data tables that are referred to as blocks that store and keep track of transactions in a reliable manner. All transactions that happen are stored here, and that's how we keep track of who owns what. These blocks are connected to each other by storing the hash of the previous block. Blockchain technology isn't exclusive to Bitcoin though, so how do we actually store Bitcoins and all that? We all have Bitcoin addresses. These are the addresses that we give people so they can send us Bitcoins. These addresses are created from the private key, which is a long hash. The private key creates a public key, which we give to the Bitcoin network. The Bitcoin network is not a single entity like a bank. Instead, the Bitcoin network consists of thousands of computers and everyone can be a part of it. These computers are called nodes, and they get a copy of the whole blockchain. The Bitcoin network hashes the public key and modifies it in a lot of ways to create a Bitcoin address. When you send a Bitcoin, you need to specify the receiver of it, and this is the Bitcoin address that you are specifying. As you know, we keep track of all the Bitcoins we own with a wallet. However, we don't just store Bitcoins in a wallet like it's a local file or something. When you send someone a Bitcoin, the Bitcoin network actually creates a so-called UTXO. UTXO stands for Unspent Transaction Output, and this is more or less the actual Bitcoin. The Bitcoin network starts associating that unspent Bitcoin with the address of the recipient now stored in the blockchain. When the other person then wants to send the Bitcoin, they tell the Bitcoin network in the transaction message what UTXO it is that they want to spend. So in our Bitcoin wallets, we actually store our private keys, which allow us to access our UTXOs by proving that we actually own them. Now, why is Bitcoin technically not anonymous? When we receive a Bitcoin, our address gets stored in the blockchain. We need the UTXOs to be associated with some address to actually own them. So in this sense, you can see that Bitcoin isn't completely anonymous since our address are linked to our Bitcoins. If someone were to look through the transactions made in the blocks, they can easily see the transactions made to the Bitcoin address. However, Bitcoin is extremely secure and private in a lot of ways. As an example, you are easily able to generate a new Bitcoin address from your private key that you can use for other transactions. This way you don't use the same address for everything, and therefore all transactions won't go to the same place. Bitcoin is also very secure because you never actually have to use your real name or anything that can connect it to you. So even if someone managed to locate all your different transactions, they still won't know who you are in real life. Therefore, it's also not the wisest to link the same Bitcoin address to, let's say, your business Facebook and your Reddit dedicated to furry porn. Another thing that makes it hard to track down transactions is just the tracking of them. Since the transactions are grouped together with many other in the blocks, it is harder to actually find them. But if this isn't enough security for you, there are other ways to make it even more secure. One of these are Bitcoin mixers. Bitcoin mixers, just as the name suggests, mixes your Bitcoin. No, not in some freakish crypto Frankenstein mix and match. Bitcoin mixers take in large amount of Bitcoins from users and get it in a large pool under the same Bitcoin address. It then uses sorting algorithms to redistribute the Bitcoins to new addresses. So you will get someone else's Bitcoin and someone will get yours. You also specify an address that you want the Bitcoins to be sent to, and this often isn't the one you sent them with, in order to make it even harder to trace. This makes it pretty much impossible to trace your Bitcoin. So the reason why Bitcoin isn't untraceable is because all transactions are stored in the blockchain, and with enough work somebody could track you down. Just like I did. Yeah, I know the chance is small, but if the owner of this house sees this video, they would absolutely shit their pants. Yeah, I thought about doing some creative and good outro to get you to subscribe, but I decided to instead just threaten you.